1965 Buenos Aires Argentina. Two bright discs remained stationary for 10 minutes. Strange flying objects were observed over the federal capital. 3 jet planes from the Morón base took off, but their investigations proved negative. 2 unidentified flying objects, white discs, appeared in the sky over the federal capital last night. These objects remained stationary for about 10 minutes and then took off at high speed. The photo was taken with an exposure of 1 minute. The possibility of UFOs over the sky of this city shocked the citizens last night. A photographer of the newspaper El Mundo photographed 2 luminous objects from the terrace of the Haynes publishing house. Rumors spread throughout Buenos Aires, and due to the continuous complaints from neighbors who claim to observe the strange objects, the 7th Air Brigade of Morón, belonging to the military aeronautics, arranged for 3 planes performing night practices to make direct observations of the objects whose presence was denounced. However, the result was totally negative. Commander Villalba, chief of duty at the base, when asked by the press, confirmed that there were no technical elements at the base to detect a flying saucer. He said that there was only a short-range radar used for landing jet planes. He confirmed that the planes that had taken off following the report of the presence of flying saucers over the skies of the capital and the outskirts of Buenos Aires were Gloucester meteors, but insisted that it was a routine flight. Statements by observers. Several people made statements today about the strange objects observed over the city yesterday. Almost all agree that the apparitions occurred around 6:30 p.m., when they were photographed by the newspaper El Mundo, and disappeared around 7 p.m. Among those who claim to have observed them is an agent who is on guard at the Olivos presidential residence. R. Castro Bustos, 20 years old, from the neighboring town of Martinez, said that he observed 2 objects with a binocular that he was carrying. He added that they emitted flashes of red and violet light and at times blue. In the vicinity of America and San Martin Avenues, in Villa Pueyrredon, several neighbors declared together to have observed the UFOs. Mrs. Leah M. de Garcia said that at first they did not pay attention to the phenomenon, but they did when light reflections were produced. They pointed out that the objects oscillated horizontally and then their light began to dissipate as if they were moving away. As for the staff of the newspaper El Mundo, almost all of them were able to observe the phenomenon, as well as to photograph it. Also participating in the observation, as the newspaper explains in today's edition, were 2 aeronautical officers who happened to be visiting the newsroom. A journalist described the object as a huge bright sphere 3 or 4 times brighter than the brightest star, like an axis in its central part, extending up and down in the firmament. Almost all the statements agree that the objects remained still for about 15 minutes, making only oscillating or hammock movements, and then started a turn to the northwest. The fact that gave more realism to the reported presence of flying saucers over Buenos Aires was the fact that Channel 13 television, at the same time that the presence of the objects was noticed, had to suspend the transmission due to technical problems. However, the San Miguel Cosmic Physics Observatory reported that no abnormal aerial phenomena had been observed from there. Post from user Mordrenix at Reddit. Comments. It appears that on this occasion the Air Force was unable to obtain film footage of the objects. Very different was what happened 6 years later not far from this location, where the pilot Francisco Sartorio was able to film an incandescent sphere next to his plane. Also a Gloucester meteor. What a coincidence, which also moved away at high speed as mentioned these objects did. Comment from user Mordrenix at Reddit.